Hi guys, it's ASBYT and welcome back to a brand new video. Now all the time I get asked the question, what are the best Bluetooth or wireless headphones, earphones, earbuds? So of course a week or so ago when Samsung launched the Galaxy S10, they also dropped these little bad boys. They are of course the Galaxy Buds. A lot of you guys want information on them, a lot of hype surrounding these, but do they live up to the expectation? I've been using these on and off for the last week or so without further ado, let's get straight to it. Right, so ever since the 2019 Samsung Unpacked event, I've pretty much been using these wireless earbuds. I've just had 2 long-haul flights to and from Las Vegas, so these definitely got some testing. Firstly, a quick unboxing. So this is the actual box that they come in. And firstly, inside we have, of course, the carry case, which has an additional 7 hours of battery time, which goes on top of the 5 to 6 hours of listening time from the earbuds themselves. So the actual carry case charges them just over 1 more time, maybe 1.5 at a push. That's what Samsung claim, and I can kind of back that up with what I've experienced during the time I've used them. Certainly not the best battery life on the market for wireless earbuds. There are quite a few products that last a lot longer, but it's very portable. It's a great design. You can chuck it in your bag or your back pocket and you don't really know you're carrying anything. So that is kind of the trade-off. Is your journey going to generally be more than 10, 12 hours? If it is, then you might want to look for something else. If not, and if that's a rarity, then these are going to work great for you. Type-C charging port just on the back there. Nice and easy to charge. Also inside we have our Type-C to Type-A USB charging cable. So pretty standard. You'll just need to find yourself a plug for the cable. And also inside there are a couple of extra buds for different sized ears, because there are some strange ears out there. I'm not gonna lie. Also inside we have our manual, and that pretty much wraps up the unboxing. Firstly, we're gonna talk about what you can actually use with the Galaxy earbuds. You can use pretty much any smartphone as you would expect, but you can also download an app for it, which allows you to connect to the earbuds, but it also allows you to set up notifications, for example, from certain apps on your smartphone. There's also a section which gives you information on the actual touchpad, so what each touch will actually register. So we'll just touch on that briefly now. See what I did there? Touch on, touchpad. No, awful, truly awful. Apologies. So one touch registers a play pause function, double tap skips forward a track, triple tap skips back a track, and the press and hold function is down to the user's discretion. I think in the original setup it's for declining calls. In terms of registering the touches, I actually found it was one of the Galaxy Buds' worst features. I felt it was rather non-responsive at times. It possibly might be due to the actual shape design of them and something that I would get used to over time, but I felt I was sometimes missing it completely. Then other times I was trying to register a double tap, for example, it would just register one and it would just pause instead of skip forwards, for example, and the triple tap almost seemed a bit impossible at times. A deal breaker, again, it depends on how much you really use that feature. It was frustrating to say the least, for sure. Something that would stop me buying them, probably not, but certainly something Samsung could improve in the future. One thing that doesn't appear to be available on these is to raise and lower volume, which isn't ideal. You will have to go onto your phone and actually turn down the volume in order to do that. Just taking my jacket off, it's getting a little bit warm. There's an ambient sound function, so if you're out and about, for example, and you want to be aware of your surroundings, like being on the lookout for traffic, for example, then of course you can turn this on and it just filters in a bit more of the outside sound. And again, without being night and day, it generally does a pretty good job. One more function on the app is the Find My Buds. So as an example, let's just run a little test. So if I'm wearing them and I put them down, if I click on Find My Earbuds and then click on Start, just put that up to the microphone. Little birdie, little tweet tweet. A little tweet tweet, what is that? And of course, when you put it in your ear, if you find it, for example, it'll then stop that noise, but the other one will still be going until you put that in your ear, or of course you can just mute it straight away from the app there. Again, another handy function. One final thing that I haven't touched on the app is there is an equalizer section, so you can actually change a little bit how the actual buds sound. Now, as we're talking about sound, I'll touch on that briefly, and then I'll touch on how the equalizer changes that sound. So now, of course, the sound that comes from the company AKG, they are well known in the audio industry, and they kind of perform how I would expect them to. Nothing drastically disappointing, but a couple of things to work on. What are you doing? Now the mids and highs are pretty crisp and clear. I was quite impressed with how they sounded in that department. A little bit disappointed with the bass. I think they could tweak that up a bit. I think it's lacking a little bit. So if you're very into hip hop, for example, or other forms of music that's got a lot of bass, you may want to possibly look elsewhere. For everything else, you generally do get a rather rich sound. The best possible wireless earbuds on the market, I personally think you could get better, but they would be probably more expensive. For around this sort of price, they do a pretty decent job. So quickly, where does the equalizer section come in on the app? Well, you can of course dial up specific areas. So if you wanted to increase the bass, for example, you can go to bass boost. Then you've got soft, dynamic, which is where it starts. Then you've got clear, and then treble boost. Now it does actually change in real time, which I do quite like. You can actually flick it in the middle of a song and it will change automatically. You don't have to sort of close down the music app and reopen it, or pause and then play. It simply just does it straight away. Does it change it drastically or dramatically? Not really. And personally, I don't think I think the idea is great. I don't think in practice it works that well. I think if you go to bass boost, it does increase it a little bit, but then it makes everything else feel a little bit muddy. And equally, if you go to treble boost, it does sound a bit tinny, a bit echoey, and it's just not ideal. Again, great idea. Love what they're doing with this app. Could do with a bit of work in its actual utilization. One thing that is great is pairing. So once you have connected these to your smartphone, the speed in which they register is phenomenal. So as long as your Bluetooth remains on your phone, as soon as you open the case, take them out, put them in, you hear the beep, just nearly dropped my phone, you hear the beep, and let's just check. Well, I know they already have because I've heard the sound. And as you can see there, Galaxy Buds there, second in. Certainly no problems whatsoever pairing. The speed of pairing, great. In terms of the pairing, you can either do it straight from your phone, find them, there'll be Galaxy Buds in your Bluetooth section, or you can put them in, make sure your Bluetooth is on your smartphone, and press and hold 3 seconds, I think it is, and then you'll hear a ding, 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 and it will then pair. Great, works brilliantly. Certainly one of the fastest pairing wireless headphones or earphones or earbuds that I have used. Now in terms of comfort, I'm quite picky with earbuds. I often find a lot of them quite uncomfortable. After a couple of hours, I need to take them out, rub my ears, for example, because they do get a little bit sore, a little bit irritated. And these were in the bracket of not the most comfy, but edging that way. They are pretty comfy. I managed to last probably around 3-4 hours, and then they started to ache a little bit, took them out, 10 minutes or so, put them back in, they seem to be okay. I think you would struggle to find a lot of earbuds more comfortable than these, but there certainly are a couple. So we've already said the carry case is very portable, great design. The actual build quality leaves a little bit to be desired. It does feel a bit plasticky, and the actual hinge mechanism is a bit flimsy, if I'm being deadly honest. I think for a company like Samsung, they could have made it a little bit better. So something to work on again, Samsung, for sure. Another pretty big function for some people, not others, is the fact that these can be wirelessly charged as well. So if, for example, you have a wireless pad, you can simply just plonk them on and they will then begin to charge. And that little LED light there will actually come on. And along those lines, if you purchase the Samsung Galaxy S10, for example, or you have a Huawei Mate 20 Pro that has reverse wireless charging, you can simply plonk these on the top of your smartphone and enable that function, and it will start charging as well. And if that's you, knock yourself out. Not literally. Don't punch yourself in the face. I don't want to be sued because you've punched yourself in the face because you've said I've told you to. Should we move on? Yeah, I think so. My only final pet peeve of these Samsung Galaxy Buds is the overall look and design. I prefer them to look more like a conventional pair of earphones, so they actually look like you're wearing wireless earphones and not like you're wearing a hearing aid, which I feel that this is the look that these actually give off. It is what it is, that's the design, you will either like it or not. If you prefer the look of a more standard earphone looking pair of headphones, this review is coming very soon. These are another cracking little pair. So now we're jumping onto price. So these will set you back roughly around 130, 140 UK pounds. Pretty similar, I think, in US dollars, even though that doesn't convert right. We always get stung in the UK. Let me know in the comment section below if you're interested for other regions and other currencies, and I will try my best to let you know. Do I feel that these are worth 130, 140 pounds? Ish. if that helps. I think you can't go wrong with them. I think you won't be disappointed necessarily unless you are like a massive bass lover. The app that comes with it is great. The portability is great. The battery life is average, but it generally for most everyday use will be good enough. They're pretty comfortable. You kind of see where I'm going with this. Are there wireless earphones out there on the market that are cheaper than this, that do a pretty similar job? I think they are, but again, if you want a reputable brand in the form of Samsung, you want to know that you have that support network, and like all the things that I've mentioned already, then yeah, go for it. Fill your boots. Are they going to be the best sound quality in the world? No. There are going to be better ones. They will probably cost more. It is what it is. Here's where you guys come in. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of these Samsung Galaxy Buds. Are they something that you're interested in? Are you going to go and buy them? Are they too expensive, or do you think they're worth that amount of money? Do you have a Samsung Galaxy S10? Are you going to look... Whoa. Are you going to look to accompany that smartphone with these buds, or are you going to look elsewhere? Like and share if you did enjoy this video. I found it helpful. For unboxings, reviews, and breaking tech news, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. You turn on the notification bell so that when I post videos, you are notified. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. CSBYT, peace out.